I'm here for vehicle height restrictions, and today I have this 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander. Now, yes, I know I did feature this vehicle before on my channel when I did a comparison between a 2020 Dodge Journey versus actually it was a 2019 Mitsubishi Outlander. This is 1 year newer, I should say. It's still the exact same car that was featured, but it has a different engine. And obviously, this being the Mitsubishi, I want to compare this 2020 to the brand new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. So stay tuned for that. That'll be later for the video. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about this 2020 Outlander. Just walking around real quick. This is pretty much, like I will state again later on the video, the old covenant of Mitsubishi, what the relationship between Mitsubishi and Dodge back in the past, and Plymouth and all that stuff. So you still got the same little body styles you do in the Dodge Journey. Very similar. Doesn't share much of anything together but the platform. But overall, styling wise, I mean, I think I prefer the Dodge Journey just a little bit more. But now for Mitsubishi at the 2022, has partnered up with Nissan and Renault, so we'll see what that relationship is like as well. So I mean, exterior design is very simple. It's rated as a 7-seater, and that's how I'll go inside in the vehicle real quick. It's best suited for, you know, just 5 adults, but in a pinch, if you have little children, you could throw them back there. So let's go ahead and get started real quick. The Dodge Journey that I had, the trim level had the push button ignition, you know, so with the key fob and all that stuff. This does not. You got basic old school functions. The doors are currently locked. Press the lock button, it beeps just a little bit, and obviously the only way you can get in is if you press unlock or if you insert the key the old fashioned way. You can just, you know, lock and unlock it from there. Nothing wrong with it. It's simple, easy to use. If the battery ever dies, you can still get in the car easily. So that is that. But nevertheless, open inside. Welcome into the Mitsubishi Outlander. The one I actually featured in my channel as well was a higher trim level than this. This one has the base little bucket seats and all that stuff, but seat comfort is average. It's, no, let me be honest with you. It's fair. It's not uncomfortable, but it's fair. If it was the leather seat option with the manual seats, oh my goodness, that will actually be very comfortable. And I can say in here actually better than I am right now. But I'm working with what I got, so no complaints on that department. Inside, you will find a vintage, somewhat Mitsubishi design. Like the vents, they're not facing straight forward. They're at an angle, facing towards you just a little bit. That reminds me like the old Mitsubishis. Got a little cheap steering wheel option right here. But honestly, everything in here, basic, simple. It's just a nice little car. So the key into the ignition right here. And obviously, if you have the push button ignition, it'll be located right here. Nevertheless, my seatbelt is on, so you're not gonna hear any chiming. Starting it up. This is actually the 4-cylinder option. The one I showed you, the 2019, had the 3-liter V6. I'll pop the hood in a second, but just want to go over the key features real quick. The windows are automatic down and up, which I like a lot. Now the back windows don't roll down 100%, but I like 90% of the way, which is still fine. But I do like the fact that they're all automatic up and down. Just a one touch. Climate control, simple, easy to use. This actually has a dual zone, all that stuff, so you can synchronize between the driver's side and the passenger side. And this is like a base model, so all this is blanked out. All this, I have no idea what this stuff would be. I'm pretty sure like forward collision, lane departure, all that stuff, all that's blanked out. Infotainment center, simple, easy to use as well. There was one generation, I think it was 2019 or 2018, when it did not have the volume knob, and I'm pretty sure they quickly changed that, just like the old Hondas as well. The only complaint I have is when you put it in reverse. I even went through the settings to try to put the brightness up higher, but I mean, this is it right here. This is, I know I'm recording for camera phone, but yeah, that's it. So this is the brightness. This is how it is at the highest. You can't turn off the display. You want to turn back on, double tap, and there you go. So that's actually cool. 12-volt socket down over here. Let's see if you can see it. You do have a USB down over here as well. More blank spots for whatever. You got eco mode. You can turn on and off if you don't need it. Cup holders right here. As you remember on the Dodge Journey that I reviewed, you had the same little pattern as well. But being the Dodge Journey, just have park, reverse, neutral, and drive. And it did have a little manual mode below drive. This one, on the other hand, you have drive sport, and lower range. Drive sport does make a difference. I will go to that and the driver proportion later on. This one has electronic parking brake. The Journey had the old-fashioned foot brake. And then right here you have heated seats. So far, I mean, it's not so bad. I have to say, it's not really bad. So what I'm gonna do now is roll down the windows because I am sweating. Turn off the engine. You heard it. And let's go over the second and third row real quick. So hopping into the second row, let me go on the passenger side like I normally do. I'm gonna scoot the passenger seat just a little bit. Now, me being 6'9", try to sit in the second row, just like the Dodge Journey. Headroom for some of my height is decent. You gotta understand that everyone's 6'9". There's people even taller than that. But if it had the sunroof option like it did in the 2019 when I had the 2020 Dodge Journey, it'll be much limited than this. But honestly, it's not so bad. Seats back here, decent. I mean, it's a good, no offense to this car, it's a good, you know, Uber, Lyft type of vehicle. And if you get one cheap after it's had its life as a rental, then I think it'd be good for that. But I got plenty of foot room underneath the passenger seat if someone could scoot up just a little bit. I'm actually fine on leg room as well. Back here, you do have air vents. If I remember correctly, the Dodge Journey had the air vents at the top. So that's like a different distinction between the two. Again, more blank buttons over here. I'm not for sure what they will be. I'm pretty sure USB. I'm not for sure why they went out and include the USB back here or charging port. That's actually strange. And then right here, you just put a little part down right there, and you do have two cup holders. Let's go ahead and go talk about the third row. So for demonstration purposes, I went ahead and removed the headrest for the third row. I mean, it's simple. You just push this in, just pull it out, and that's how you do it. And as you'll see in a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, you got the exact same little format. You got the exact same little handle right here, and you got the same type of headrest as well. So if you must use the third row, this is what you're limited to, and this is pretty much average to the typical 7-seater. So no, this says 7 seats, but this is not on par on such as the Subaru Ascent I just recently reviewed, Chevrolet Traverse, or even the GMC Acadia. So this is not that type of a 7-seater. So if you don't need them, you just put a lever down with removing the headrest. Same for this side as well. And it's pretty much flat. And this is the average, or you get a little bit more space. I'm not for sure the exact cubic inches in this, but visually seeing this, there's a little bit more space in here, back here, with the third row down. You would say like a 2020 Chevrolet Equinox, or even a Rogue. Surprisingly, the previous generation Rogue very shortly offered a third row. I'm not for sure what happened to that, but you do get cup holders for the third row, no other type of ventilation and stuff like that, and you do have a power outlet back here, 12 volts. So let's go ahead and close this down. But I do want to show something before I actually really close it. So I didn't go too much over this in the Dodge Journey review, but it says 2 right here. But honestly, if you want to lay down the third row, pull the second one that says 2 first. Okay, that opens up this part right here, and then you pull the 1 right here. That's going to lower down this headrest, all right? And then you pull this down, and then voila, you got a nice little, pretty much flat area right here. I'm going to do the same for the other side. So this is in my driver's position. It's all the way back. I did not recline it, but it is all the way back. So what you do, the same thing over here, same process. Pull 2 first, then you pull the 1 right here, then you pull this down, and then now you got something completely flat. I mean, look at it. It's very flat back here. So you can place wherever you want down over here, just like a normal 5-seater, like a Chevrolet Equinox, Nissan Rogue. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna leave up this part right here because I may want to recline my seat. And the only thing I like about it is, as you can see, when it's time to put this thing back down, as you can see, the seatbelt holder is stuck underneath, so you have to pull this back out. and then you have to fish this up right here, make sure it stays up. Maybe I have to deal with 2 hands, but there you go. So just keep that in mind. So that's pretty much the interior and the exterior of the car. Let's go to the powertrain real quick. Go ahead and pop the hood open. Now, yes, this is a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, but this is not the exact same 2.4 liter in the 2020 Dodge Journey that I reviewed. This is a single overhead cam, while the Dodge was a double overhead cam. So this one actually has 166 brake horsepower, 162 foot-pounds of torque. That's made it to a CVT transmission. However, the Dodge has more power at 176 brake horsepower and 165 foot-pounds of torque. But that was limited to an old school 4-speed automatic gearbox. So I want to go on the driving real quick. I give a little acceleration, highway runs real quick, and I'll show you what the difference between the two is. And let me go ahead and give you a spoiler alert. I prefer this. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go for a drive real quick. Alrighty. Sounds like a Mitsubishi. I have to say, it does remind me a bit of the Dodge Journey, but in a good way, because I actually prefer this the way it just drives in the CVT. Yes, it has less power than the Dodge Journey, but the CVT makes the best of it. So I'm gonna get out here, I'm gonna put it into drive sport and give it acceleration, still going. Wow. Okay, now I'm not gonna say wow like in sports car wow. I'm saying wow in comparison of the Dodge Journey. The transmission keeps it in the power band. So I'm gonna give you guys more insight of the 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander later on for my late night review. Let's head to the Mitsubishi dealership in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I'll see you guys later. All right, guys. All right. I like when this stuff happens. So once again, a good shout out to Tim Short of Mitsubishi Motors here in Clarksville, Tennessee. I'm right next to a busy highway, so I had the key in my pocket. And let me go ahead and just drive in the back parking lot over here. So I got 13 miles on here. I'm really digging this brand new Outlander. This is actually the first startup I'm gonna do in this car real quick. Foot on the brake, and the startup button is over here. I believe the new Rogue is down somewhere over here, but this is totally completely different. And let me hit the button real quick. Different chime versus the Rogue. Actually different completely gear lever than the Nissan Rogue as well. Similar design. You got the park right here, you press the park, but the layout right here is completely different, and this whole section right here is different as well. So let's see if it's about the same if you put it in reverse. So you press this button right here, foot still on the brake. Press this button right here, all the way forward, in reverse. Nice backup camera. This partnership with Nissan, I'm really digging it right now compared to the 2020 Outlander over there. Completely night and day. Let's go ahead and get right to it real quick. Well, since I'm inside the cabin, let's talk about the cabin real quick. So brand new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. This is the SE trim level. Not for sure the exact trim level of mine. This one right here, you don't have the leather seats, but the seats are power operated. You can get the Mitsubishi Outlander, the generation I have, with power seats as well. This being a Nissan Rogue underneath, I'm actually okay in here for this 5-seater, well, actually 7-seater, get to that in a second, SUV. Steering wheel is nice and thick. It's not overly big, but I love the texture of the steering wheel. Nothing here really screams Nissan to me. Nothing screams Nissan to me, but the windows do go up and down automatically. Sadly, this doesn't go all the way down. It goes almost 3/4 of a way. Kind of disappointed in that, but have a nice speed to them as well. Nice soft touch materials, ooh, everywhere. Very nice. Now look at the climate control over here. This may scream a little Nissan to you, same little outlet right here, but honestly, it's so easy and intuitive. Heated seats right here. I'm not for sure if it has ventilated seat options, but you got the heated seats right here. Simple to easy use climate control. Has a button. And look at the infotainment. Oh my goodness. I mean, the layout is actually just beautiful. I'm gonna press menu right here. And this being a Nissan, is very easy to use as well. My goodness, I'm like really digging this car. And the gauge clusters, look at that. Simple, big, easy to read. Just no unnecessary gimmicks. So you want to scroll through the functions right here. You got a little scroll bar right here. Go to the menus and all that stuff. I'm really digging this Mitsubishi. You got your drive modes down over here. You can cycle through normal, eco. So now I'm in normal mode, tarmac, gravel, snow, and mud. This is 4-wheel drive. Electronic parking brake. Man, I'm really digging it. And a little spot right here for wireless charging. USB type C. You press this button right here to turn it on, I believe. And you have a 12-volt socket right here. Wow. I mean, the material in here is really nice. Let's get to the back real quick. Well, Mr. Aaron informed me about these 20-inch wheels right here. This is exclusive for the Mitsubishi. You cannot get those on the Nissan Rogue, which I'm really digging as well. Hop into the second row. You still have the soft touch material over here. Nice little texture right there. Very comfortable cloth seats. I didn't mention in the front, but very comfortable cloth seats. But you do have 2 cup holders right here, which stands out nice. And actually, you do have vents back here. I'm really glad it has vents back here. Some SUVs, even SUVs themselves, when I have vents back here. Nice little storage space over here. And also down at the bottom, you do have a USB and USB type C down at the bottom as well. Digging the seats. And just like the previous Mitsubishi Outlander, you do have a 3rd row back here. Let's see. Let me pause the video again. Let me see if I can get back to it real quick. So ideally, you could pull the little lever down over here to go back and forth. And then you have access to the 3rd row. You have the floor mess back here because it's brand new. So I'm not going to try to fool and mess with the 3rd row too much. You do have a divider down over here. Let's get to that real quick. Push this up just a tad bit. Let's see what's underneath here. Got the Mitsubishi motors over here. Got the 2 headrests for the 3rd row down over here. Nice back here as well. It's just a trunk, but you can lower the 2nd row if you so desire to by pulling that lever. I'm really digging this. I keep banging on about this car because I'm really stunned by it. Like, a lot. So if you actually think about getting a brand new 2022 Nissan Rogue, consider this as well if you could find one. I had to drive from Nashville to Clarksville just to do this review, but to be honest with you, it was worth it. Completely worth it. Let me go ahead and pop the hood real quick. And what you're gonna find underneath the hood is also very nice. Same platform. Let's see, how do I pop the hood open this? There we go. So it's down over here. And the button right here is underneath the Mitsubishi logo. It is kind of got some weight to it. It needs to be hydraulic, but it is what it is. And what you will find underneath the hood is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder made it to a CVT transmission. This is the exact same powertrain as the 2022 Nissan Rogue as well. 181 brake horsepower and 181 foot-pounds of torque. A nice engine. Now you may be like, Nissan, CVT. I mean, don't worry, man. I drive the brand new Nissan Rogues, and the CVT yet so far has not been jerky, whatnot, in which I've experienced. So this is actually a good engine. Powertrain, if you take care of it, it will take care of you. Service the transmission if necessary, flush all that stuff, but don't shy away from this brand new Mitsubishi Outlander just because it has a Nissan powertrain. I really do like this powertrain a lot. And once again, special shout out to Tim Short, Mitsubishi.com here in Clarksville, Tennessee. Thank you so much. And as well, thank you, Mr. Aaron here at Tim Short Mitsubishi for letting me do this as well. And we're going back to the whole 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander. Now, obviously, these two are totally completely different cars, but I mean, you could just tell both of them have the exact same signature look. Mitsubishi signature, completely night and day. Smaller wheels on this one, similar body proportions. So what we have here is like essentially like the old Covenant, the Dodge and Mitsubishi, and you have the Nissan and Mitsubishi. So that's it. But in conclusion of this 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander, I wanted to show you guys, wanted to get my hands on two things: the 4-cylinder and the brand new 22 Mitsubishi Outlander. So everything went perfectly to plan. So let's do my in a little walk around of this car. And to be honest with you, just like the journey, actually more of the journey, I respect this car. But let's get to the nitty gritty of this thing real quick. Should you buy one? Let's go over a few things real quick. Comfort wise, I would recommend getting, if you're gonna get one used at least, the one with the leather seats. I love the way the seats adjust. More refined than this, but this will do. But again, if you're tall, 6'9", it's no go. I really want to focus more on the driver dynamics because there is a significant difference between the Mitsubishi Outlander and the Dodge Journey. So let's go on the road real quick and let's go for a drive. I believe this is slightly more comfortable than the Dodge Journey, the one I reviewed as well. This 4-cylinder, awesome. It's resting around 2,500 RPMs and it's just floating. Even though it's less powerful than the Dodge Journey in terms of horsepower and torque, I mean, this CVT makes the best of it. I mean, absolutely. It corners better than the Dodge Journey. Even just leaving in drive, it accelerates heck of a lot better than the Dodge Journey. And what's even funnier is it has Sport Plus down over here. You may laugh at that, but as I'm going to demonstrate real quick, look at the RPMs. I'm going to flick it over to Drive Sport. You're going to watch the revs build up, okay? It behaves like a traditional CVT should. It doesn't imitate like a normal automatic transmission. It actually holds the revs until you lift off the gas pedal. This is the old-fashioned type of CVT. Road noise, yeah, I do have to raise my voice a little bit while I'm talking. This car is not really well insulated as it is its competitors. Handling wise, don't feel that much body roll whatsoever, but it grips. Put back in the Drive Sport. You see how I was just holding the revs? I just lifted off and it then obviously gave me that little rubber band effect. It actually wasn't bad. Much better than the Dodge Journey, I have to say. Braking is good on this car as well, so is visibility. This is slightly more than just a Lyft or Uber car. I do respect this a lot, even way much more than the Dodge Journey. I mean, a 4-speed automatic, come on now. For 2020, I know I'm in 2021 right now, but they could at least throw in the 6-speed automatic from the Dodge Caravan at least. I don't know. That was a poor example, but the Mitsubishi version of this car is actually much, much better. Even this generation Outlander, you can get this in a plug-in hybrid. That's actually pretty good as well. So take that into consideration. But okay, in closing, so I did everything as planned in this video. I want to do a quick comparison of the powertrain in this 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander with the 4-cylinder and the Dodge Journey with a 4-cylinder as well, even though that was the only engine option. Being that the Journey has more horsepower and torque, this actually feels much faster than the Dodge Journey as well. Both have 7-seaters, same body style, etc. But the transmission can make or break the car. But the CVT did wonders, and honestly, it was not a bad city car and definitely not a bad highway cruiser. But like I stated as well, I also wanted to see the 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, which is actually based on the brand new Nissan Rogue. So Mitsubishi broke its old covenant with Dodge and now it's with Nissan and Renault, and that is a completely different beast. But yet again, it's not a cheap just rebadge engineering. The steering wheel was different, the gear lever was different. Yes, the infotainment had the same fonts and layouts and stuff like that, but I mean, it's still a very pleasant platform. So I really want that car to become popular. I know it's a Mitsubishi, but it's just a different Rogue and all, and I really did like that SUV. If I could have my hands on it, I just wish that I was in a position in which car companies would just give me a car for a week. I would love that Mitsubishi. And once again, thank you so much, Mitsubishi Motors, Tim Short of Mitsubishi, and thank you once again, Mr. Aaron. I really appreciate it so much. even with that chip shortage. Just one Mitsubishi dealership in Gallatin, Tennessee, so I had to drive from Nashville to Clarksville just to see it, and it was totally worth it. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you're considering a brand new Mitsubishi Outlander, please check them out. Clarksville, Tim Short. This is Omar for Vehicle Height Restriction. Thank you guys so much.